Osio lovelies. Greetings from this sacred space nestled in the rock formation of our ancestors. The ancestors of rock formation in what is now called Sedona, Arizona. Welcome to another episode, episode number 2 of 52 of the Church of Lovely, not your grandmama's church. This is part 2 of a 4-part series entitled Playing the Field, based on a scripture in Matthew 24:40 specifically, that says there will be 2 in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. And last week I broke down how Spirit gave that to me, meaning not the literal field or a literal field as I was taught, but a field of consciousness. That the field being referred to here is the field of consciousness, which makes perfect sense now that we are out of the Piscean age, an age of illusion and kind of smoke and mirrors and deception, whether it was out and out or without knowledge. But now the Spirit being poured out on all flesh has everything just being seen for what it is, right? And so we see that the field is not a literal field, but it is a field of the mind, and that is what the battle is for right now. It is for our attention. Various entities are playing the field of our mind, and it is up to us to decide whether we are going to control which field we play on, how we play on that field, get in the game to recognize we're on a field, okay? Because we're playing whether you know it or not, you're playing in this field of consciousness. And if you are playing intentionally, then you're deciding where your focus is and where your energy is and the direction of where you're going. You're choosing. You're having more of a choice in your field as opposed to just going along to get along and finding yourself swept up in a field of collective consciousness where you just become part of the whole by default. This second part in the series will hopefully ground us in the knowledge that we can choose how we're going to play in this field, because it is a field that we're on, a field of consciousness. And the foundation for this teaching of a field of consciousness is from what is commonly referred to as a Hermetic principle, which is a Greek phrase, but it is actually a Kemetic and beyond an African concept that was taught to the Greeks, who then introduced it to the rest of the world as their own original stuff. And that's what they're good for. There's clones and there's creators. That's a whole nother video. But what the mantra was, or the foundation was, that is so important for us to grasp right now, is that all is mental. All is mental. The mind is the gold right now. The gold mind. That's the riches. That's the treasure. And that's what the battle is for right now, which is why it is so important to know the field that you're playing on and the rules for that field. And with that knowledge, you can consciously engage and consciously decide what field we're going to play on. And scripture gives us a really solid foundation to know how to choose, because there is a definite choice and there's a feeling tone to the choices that presents a type of duality in how those fields show up. So there's the field that gives you positive choices, and there's the field that gives you more challenging choices. And in knowing that all is mental, what comes to me is to lean towards the light. How do I know which field I'm wanting to be in? It is the one that is filled with light. There's a scripture says that the thief comes but to steal, kill, and destroy, but I have come, I, the Christ, the light. Light is here that we can have life and have it more abundantly. So it's very easy how we gauge what field we're playing in is by being aware of the energy and the atmosphere and the people and the intentions and the swirl of energy, the frequency and the vibration that is around us. And if it is one that involves stealing, killing, and destroying, if that's the message, if that's the vibration, if that's the energy, if that's the focus, if that's the direction, if that is what is being highlighted, then we know that that is of a lower vibration, that is of an inorganic origin, that is not of the light, as opposed to something that gives you life and gives it to you more abundantly. So it gives you life, it gives you joy, it gives you hope, peace, it gives you prosperity, it gives you laughter, it gives you an energy that is of a high vibration. And scripture gives us clear directives for understanding where we are on the field, and it's in the mind. This field is taking place, this game is taking place in the mental. That's where we're at. Tap in and understanding that, and knowing that we're navigating with the game of chess, not checkers, and knowing that we have all of the knowledge, knowing that we know all the plays, we made the rules, and just understanding that we can tap into that knowledge takes the fear out of the journey and turns it into an adventure that we know that we are safe in. That's what happens when we can recognize that we're in a field, when we can choose which field we're on, which energies we want to pay attention to, which vibration we want to go at, what frequency we want to go on, by renewing our minds. Perception is reality. Reality is formed in our mind. The field that we play on is a mental one. So understanding that the plays, the game, the moves are being made in the field of consciousness allows us to recognize that as above, so below, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So this is not to be a time of fear, but a time of excitement, because no matter the choices made and path chosen, we get to choose our destiny based on our thoughts, our focus, where we're putting our attention. It's about knowing thyself, and that's what's happening to those who are feeling this shift in consciousness, who are feeling like an outsider sometimes in your own home and environment because you have shifted to another field. You're in the world of it in this now multi-dimensional universe. You're in the same place, but you're on another dimension, and it's hard to explain it because you're in the physical, you're still in the same place, but in the next dimension, you're very much on separate planes. You find yourself in a world, but no longer of that world. And as someone who's been in and out of it for a very long time, this hits different. 2023 is hitting all the way different. We are in uncharted waters. This in the world but no longer of the world energy, this multi-dimensional flying between time. Okay. We have questions. That's how you kind of know that you're playing in a different field. You have questions about everything. As your first eye begins to open, you see through the veil of illusion. You begin to see past the bullshit. And quite frankly, it's frightening because everything you thought you knew is a lie. Your whole world, your whole existence, everything that makes you you is not the truth. But if you can push past that fear, I mean, and it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in, that your foundation. That's why that song is so true. Build your hopes on things eternal. Not the construct, not the matrix. Build your hopes on things eternal, because when you find out that the foundation that you've been building on is a lie, it's quite traumatic. But if we can when we push past that fear and the anger and the sheer disbelief of how complete the deception and that's a lot to take in. How complete the deception is a lot to take in. But if we can push past all of that and open our heart chakra, which is so important now, it's all about the love vibration. It's all about unity, not disunity. It's all about togetherness, not division. If we can open our heart chakra as the other chakras align, we step into reality. We step out of the illusion and into reality. Life outside of the old paradigm, commonly referred to as the matrix. Once outside of that illusion, made easier now as we are in this age of Aquarius, this second coming, where right now as I speak, the Spirit of the Christ is being poured out on all flesh. It is amazing to see life as it truly is. To see beyond the veil, to realize that it is of utmost importance now more than ever to tap into your own intuition and enlightenment, the truth that resonates within your own spirit, your own kingdom, the Christ in you, to begin to trust that internal guide and to tap into this channel used by our ancestors and the angels, gods and goddesses, and beings of light to know what is really going on. And lovelies, it is nothing like what's on our popular electronics, okay? Nothing like the narrative forced upon the masses, the stories that are readily available at every turn. Energies that no longer feel organic, that seem fake, contrived. It may be something you've done for years or all your life, but in participating now, something feels off. You know that you know what it is. If you hear this message and this is you, if there's no explanation, you get it as I'm speaking to you. You know what I'm talking about. Something feels off. You're in it. You've been doing it all your life, but it doesn't feel the same. It's different. You're in a different world. That's because it is, and your consciousness recognizes it, even if you don't. Even if you're not yet aware, your subconsciousness is aware. So how do we plant ourselves into our desired field? It is by the renewing of the mind. It is by understanding that all is mental and tapping in, going within to tap within, renew our mind from within. All is mental. And when we pull away from the outer chatter and the distractions and those things that are pulling our attention away, so that we don't focus on our intention. We want to go within and play that field. So until next time, lovelies, this is the Church of Lovely. Love and light.